what I usually have been eating. I usually eat the same thing every day. I eat eggs and spinach because dark leafy greens, also the best thing that you could probably eat. So eat them both.
Thank you for grossing everybody's appetite out, Mom. Let's start this show, I would say. Welcome to the AWKWARDCast. ANY and Keyframe wonder about random drivel. Oh my god, I managed to say the name. And
Hooray!
yeah, once again with me, Toon Critic.
Sup, my amigos? This is Toon Critic here. Let me go talk and have podcasts instead of actual edited reviews. You know, what you subscribed for. Remember the cartoons arc? That is the top quality you're ever going to get.
I am very glad that you are friends with him. or closer friends with him.
I love you, Zach. I love you, Zach. This is all in good fun. You can make fun of me as much as you want during the round table, but this is my domain.
I mean, I just wanted to say, I wouldn't say that Zach and I are not friends, but he would probably not take it the way if I would do something like this.
I mean, his impression of me is, how? I'm Keyframe. Beeeatles.
I didn't hear a difference to the pre-show, so... But hey, how was your week, Keyframe?
Actually, speaking of Beatles, that was part of my week.
Bum, bum, bum!
I mean, actually, it was yesterday, even, so...
Still counts.
Yeah. So, this week hasn't been, the most exciting week, bar from yesterday. Mostly working on stuff, currently working on editing, among other things. A new reading, which I am so excited for. It's like
what losers are still doing readings? I mean, did you get who sign up for this kind of stuff?
Oh, some loser German. No one even knows who he is anymore. He has a dead channel.
Pretty much. Germans only have dead channels.
Someone with him who probably has more patience for him than he probably deserves. But point being,
Beatles.
No, not just Beatles, but yeah, I'm doing this reading because I'm working on 2 long-formed audio plays at the moment. One coming back from the dead, and the other one I'm currently working on.
Ooh, Allegrezza?
And both of them. Yeah, I'm like Allegrezza. You're more excited than what I thought you would be.
I like Allegrezza, you know that, and.
I wanted to bring that back because that fic has a personal attachment to me.
Not to mention that there's another role waiting for me in it. For my role comes later, like the conductor guy.
8th chapter, I think.
Oh God.
But no, the thing is that the reason why those 2 are taking long is I've made a vow that when I do long form things that are more than 1 chapter, I compensate the actors for their work. So I'm saving up money to pay them.
Oh my.
And because they're
good.
They're investing time in a long-term project. They deserve compensation.
The only question is, here's on the one hand, I'm absolutely with you, and I think this is a very noble thing to do. But here's the one thing where I would say, but the aspect is that, are you doing it mostly as a hobby on your end, so something basically that doesn't give you anything? Then you have to find a balance between paying.
No, here's the thing. I monetize those readings, and since they are long things, you can put a lot of ads on them. They are very ad friendly, and so I compensate the actors, and if I can get in contact with the author, I do compensate them. I'm not giving them crazy amounts of money. I think Allegrezza, the 2 main actors, I was like, can I give you guys 20 a chapter? And they're like, yeah, that's fine. Mm-hmm. And it's less about the monetary amount and more of the gesture, you know?
Absolutely with you. I mean, it's a thing that you shouldn't pay on top of it, or at least not a big amount, given that you don't have too much money to spare. But yeah, the gesture is absolutely brilliant. I like it.
Yeah, but if people are asking, where's Hard Reset, where's Allegrezza? Yeah, go to my Patreon, give me Patreon money, and I can help pay them. Yeah.
Hey-o.
Put my Patreon in the description of this, Max.
I'm writing it down.
Yeah, the other thing is But back to this. The other thing is, I haven't edited a one-shot reading since Valentine's Day of last year. No. I did Pat the Changeling before that, but that was still last year. And I'm like, I need to get back into remembering how to edit these audio plays. So I decided I'm going to do a one-shot. One-shots, those are volunteer-based because I'm like, well, they're not as long. You're doing one session, that's it.
Well, you're not paying me for this? Wait, we are paying each other?
Expose, you are that changeling, but
oh no, I gave it away. Spoilers.
I'm doing another changeling fiction because I've noticed anytime I do anything changeling related on my channel, it gets a shit ton of views.
People just want to hear your chrysalis. Too bad you're not doing it this time, are you?
Oh no, I'm actually not doing chrysalis. I'm doing the main female that you are accusing of being a pony and the narrator. But I got you in there. I got Katie in there. I actually got my friend Zycron to do a part, and I'm really excited about that because Zycron's a really cool dude, and he doesn't get as much voice acting roles as he probably should, especially since his YouTube channel is called Zycron VA. Like, all of his other medias are Zycron voice actor. So, but stay tuned because I'm actually really hitting hard on that fic. Like, I edited all the actor audio last night. But speaking of last night, my big event was I got to hang out with the Abbey Roadie again, Lauren. Like,
oh yeah, I saw a photo on Twitter.
Yes, but basically we. This is how eloquent I am when I'm not recording. One thing that me and her both love is the Beatles. That's how we first met and we first connected. And the city, like the park down, there's a park down in Pasadena that the city puts on a bunch of concerts over the summer. And one of them that they do is Britain's Finest, which is a Beatles tribute band. And me and Lauren are actually friends with the members of that band. They're really cool and they're really well known for a tribute band. Like, they tour internationally, performing in like Liverpool and Hamburg and all that stuff. And so she was like, on Tuesday night, she was like, hey, do you want to come to this? And I'm like, sure. So I got Will to drive me down there, and we hung out and everything. I gave her late birthday present, which is Silver Slinger made these friendship necklaces, and it has Starlight and Trixie on there, and on the back it says, you're my very best friend. And I gave her the Starlight one, and she was like, oh, and I was like, yeah. But we hung out there, and going to a Beatles tribute band thing doesn't sound like fun to a lot of people, but oh my god, it so is. Because you have people of all ages. You have there was kids who were 8, 9 years old, maybe younger. And then you have really old people who were probably teens when the Beatles actually performed. And
so basically you have the original groupies there with small impressionable children who are being forced to be groupies by their parents. I'm not sure this is a healthy environment.
But you have all these people just dancing around and having fun, and it's great seeing the generations actually come together for something. And they're in their full costumes. They have the mop tops and the suits. They perform Hard Day's Night and all the songs, and then they go into Sgt. Pepper style, start doing all the other songs. They ended the night playing Hey Jude, and everyone is doing the na 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 na, and it's just. It's so much fun, and if people think I'm a Beatles nerd, you should see me at those concerts. I am dancing and screaming like I am one of those fans at Shea Stadium when they performed for halftime for the Mets back in '65.
Let's be honest here, you would have been. If you would have had the chance, you would have so sneaking into their shared apartment and would have had so much drugs and other adult stuff. Oh my.
Other adult stuff. No.
I don't want to say sex on this review, on this podcast.
Oh, well, you just
I mean, we talked about a big erect otter penis in the pre-show, so that's the thing.
There's no context for that until I put that up on my channel.
If you even put it up on your channel.
I'm making a highlight reel.
I'm just saying to everybody watching on YouTube, you should be here live half an hour early for the show on Thursday. The pre-show is where the... Wait,
oh.
I'm just discrediting the main show, aren't I? By saying
Yeah,
the
you're discrediting the main show by saying the pre-show is funnier. But no, like, yeah, it was so much fun, and it was just a really good time. And I really wish that I could bring like Will and Golden to these things, but Will had to do his job and Brett had to go to sleep early because he had his shift in the morning and everything. And it's like, I want to share this energy with people so they understand why I'm a Beatle nerd. It's stuff like that, like all the like crazy fun and seeing so many ages and everything. But no, people look at me and they're just like, oh, you Beatle normie, you just like old bands because it makes you think you're better than everyone else, and you complain that all the music after it got shittier and shittier. And I'm like, no, I mean, that's true, but I don't know. It was a lot of fun, and it's just fun hanging out with Lauren because, you know, she's always busy, I'm always busy, and we talked about plans for EQLA and stuff, and if maybe before the con we can go to Harry Potter World at Universal because that place is fun as fuck. And yeah, so that was my week. Hanging out with friends. What was your week like?
Stunningly uneventful, to be honest. I basically had to declare this a Game of Thrones week because those are the most fun anecdotes I could come up with. So here's the thing. In the bus a few days ago, there was sitting an old gentleman, like, and he I don't want to make fun of him, but he looked a little bit out of it, and then when he was standing up, he made a sound which sounded like Hodor, and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool! I just met real life Hodor.
And did he have a blind kid on his back?
No, he didn't have a blind kid on his back. But it would have been so cool. Wait, no, the kid isn't blind, it just can't walk.
Oh, I thought he was blind.
No,
I haven't seen a lot of Game of Thrones.
No, but it wasn't in it. This would not have made Game of Thrones week. So today, this very day, when I was on my bike riding to work, on a red traffic light, I had to wait, and I looked to the right, and there is this lady, and she was basically the female hound. She had this scar, which again, kind of not pretty to look at, but the coolness factor was like over 9,000. She had this scar really like the hound on half of her face, and I was like, whoa. Hodor and now the Hound. Do we have an entire German cast of Game of Thrones living here in Berlin? So yeah, I will be on the outlook to see more of them. But yeah, beyond that, I don't really recall having done anything fun this week. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, my diet is starting to set in. Sadly, not with a noteworthy weight gain, but with uncleaner skin. Hooray! Yeah, I'm still waiting for the weight gain. It's ridiculous. But oh no! Now I have something. How was this week? This week just turned up a few points. Got a few awesome points just 2 hours ago. Because once again, my current workout diet is like very strict, like no sugar, and instead trying to eat a lot and a lot of stuff with easy calories. So rice and chicken, and so basically except for cheating day on Sunday, I was eating rice and chicken every day. But my training buddy, who basically gave me this idea, gave me my diet plan, was also like, yeah, the important thing is to eat a lot of meat stuff and so on. And he was like, yeah, one thing you can also do when you get sick of rice and chicken, have a nice rump steak in the evening. And I was like, okay, fits the diet, rump steak sounds awesome, why not? So today, on my way back from work, I stopped at the grocery store. Then again, I was looking for rump steak in 3 different stores so far, and I was like, Yuri, I can't find rumsteak anywhere.
It shouldn't be that hard to find.
I thought so. I mean, I didn't go to a meat store. What is it called?
A butcher.
A butcher, yeah. I didn't go to a butcher. There I probably would have gotten one. But I thought, like, you remember this giant store we have been here in Germany, the Kaufland?
Yes, I remember.
They didn't have rumsteak. I was like, how
stupid.
can this store who has everything not have rumsteak? I still have the feeling, because they had a lot of barbecue stuff, that they kind of threw out some of the regulars to make room for the barbecue stuff, because barbecue season started. But yeah, today I got my rumsteak, and it was kind of like on the expensive ends of things, and I was like, that's expensive. I mean, it's rumsteak, and it was bio rumsteak, so not biohazard, but like bio
organic.
Organic, yeah, that's what you call it over there. So yeah, it was organic. But yeah, I made it earlier. I was kind of having a hard time to actually get it well, or at least get kind of done, because it was a very thick one, and so the crust, it was already developing a crust on both ends, but the middle was still like visible to the outside, still red.
It was still mooing.
Yes, pretty much. But I had it earlier, and rumsteak. I will have rumsteak more often now. I forgot, because rumsteak in a restaurant, rumsteak is like ridiculously expensive, so I very rarely have it in a restaurant. But
I forgot how good steak tasted, and I went to the store and they had steak fillets, and I was like, oh, this is probably going to cost a shit ton. And I looked at it, and it was like $4 for like these 4 nice slices of steak, and I'm like, yes, please. And I made stir fry, like I cut like the steak into strips and cooked it with vegetables and peppers and stuff, and I loved it. Everyone else thought it was too spicy, and that's because I put a shit ton of hot sauce in it. And I'm like, well, yeah, I like my. If you eat hot food, your body heats up.
I had my rumsteak with pepper and salt, like it is supposed to be. Not this fancy drivel you would throw in there.
You put garlic on steak, you dumbass.
You can, and I have garlic, but no, a good rumsteak, salt and pepper, and nothing else, you imbecile.
You know,
Blasphemous.
You shouldn't have used troglodyte.
But did this cooking episode even happen this week?
Yes, it did.
Okay, fair
happened
enough.
on Sunday.
Okay, I just wanted to check, not that you talk about stuff that is older than this week.
Speaking of which, besides your steak adventure and seeing Game of Thrones characters wherever you go, what media did you consume this week?
I'm seeing Game of Thrones characters. I did it. I did as I promised. I watched it.
You watched Game of Thrones?
No, the one I promised last week.
Oh, you watched the Bee movie?
I watched the Bee movie.
No, wait. Since you're talking about the Bee movie, I expect this to be a bit longer, so let me say my media, and then we can just focus on the Bee movie.
Fair enough.
Okay, so this is something that I've consumed this week, but to be fair, I think I've consumed it for like 3 weeks, but I really want to talk about it. I am a huge musical fan. I love old musicals. I love current ones. Everything from Hello Dolly to now. And most people are like, think I'm only Hamilton trash. No, I'm just trash for good musicals.
I can confirm it. Trash through and through.
Yeah, like I mean, while I was over in Germany, I got Max to watch Heathers and Book of Mormon and The Producers, bunch of musicals. It was torture, I'm sure. For Heathers, because that recording, we constantly had to try to fix the tuning.
Yeah. No, but
I don't know what was wrong with the recording, though.
I was just up and looking if I can find my cat's DVD, but and hold it into the camera for the live stream. But yeah,
you need to bring that cat's DVD. Wait, I'm a
little bit musical trash myself, but yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but this new musical I found, and Little Shop of Horrors, which goes into this, this new musical I found is a musical called Be More Chill, which is a sci-fi musical.
Ooh, that's not often.
And I would say the way to describe it is a modern Little Shop of Horrors.
Ooh.
Basically what it's about, it's like every good musical in this century, it's set in high school.
What? Wait, Hamilton was set in high school? I must have missed this. This explains a lot of the
this
stuff.
Would probably be in a high school. No, let's face it, Hamilton's probably in a high school history class. But like, no, like Heathers and Dear Evan Hansen and stuff is like high school. So, but Be More Chill. There's this kid named Jeremy who is a sophomore in high school, total outcast. He doesn't want to be the super cool guy. He just wants to be chill and be another one instead of an outcast. And this one cool guy tells him about this pill he could take called a squip. And it's like it's an anagram. I don't know what the anagram is right now. But it's a supercomputer. It's a supercomputer inside of a pill that you take. It goes into your bloodstream until it goes into your brain, and it tells you what to do to be cool. And he takes it. And so then the supercomputer is personified as a person. So you actually do hear a voice coming out of it. And Jeremy becomes more cool, liked by everyone, but he isolates his friend Michael, who is a guy who's like, you know what? It doesn't matter that we're not cool now. Guys like us are really freaking cool in college. So let's just wait 2 years and we'll be fine. But yeah, so he's completely changing himself, but it escalates to where the squip is trying to put itself, I guess, into every member of the student body and try to take over the world, basically.
Sounds a little bit more like Faculty, which is actually a high school rip-off of Attack of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah, but it's so good. And it's based off a book, but no one likes the book, but everyone likes the musical. And
it's a book called Faculty?
No, the book's called Be More Chill. Shut up. And it's great. Like, the thing that stops the squip, that turns the squip off, is drinking Mountain Dew Red, which is this is the greatest exchange.
Now it sounds like Evolution, the movie with Mulder. Was it Mulder?
I don't know. But like the thing is, Mountain Dew this is an actual exchange. It's like Mountain Dew turns you off, turns you on. Mountain Dew Red turns you off. Why do you think we had it discontinued? For this, you have to take a time machine back to the 1990s. The character Michael is a huge retro geek, so he's like, yeah. Or if you have a friend who's so into retro stuff, he buys 90s soft drinks from the back of a Spencer's Gifts. So the characters are so fucking funny, and the music is so good. Like, I don't know what angels they ripped out of heaven to get these great singers, but they did it. And I can't recommend this musical enough. Like, it's I don't think it's on Broadway because
it's off-Broadway.
It's very off-Broadway, but I've noticed that's actually become kind of a thing. Like, Heathers, it's still not a Broadway musical. Like, it's been off-Broadway the entire time, and it's, like, one of the big musicals, right, for quite a while. And, like, Hamilton was off-Broadway when it first started. I mean, a lot of musicals are off-Broadway, but this one is still one that's still off-Broadway and still not as well known as other ones, but it's slowly climbing up there. So I could still say I was on the bandwagon before the bandwagon existed.
You are a hipster, basically.
Yeah.
Good job. You are a hipster.
Oh, yes. Thank you. At least I don't have glasses like a hipster.
Give it time.
But yeah, the entire soundtrack's on YouTube, and there is a recorded version of the show also on YouTube, and it's like not like Hamilton where it's going to get taken down 5 minutes after it's uploaded, because they don't care. They just want this musical to succeed, so they're like, we're going to show it. And I can't recommend it enough. My favorite songs from the musical are Two Player Game, The Pitiful Children, which is the Squip's big song where it's like taking over everyone, and Michael's big song, which is called Michael in the Bathroom, where it's basically Jeremy abandons him and calls him a loser, and so Michael's in the bathroom during a party and like having a panic attack because he's just like, I have no one anymore, I am just a loner, no one likes me, and it's so sad and it's so emotional, and I'm like, oh, you poor child. And that was the first song I listened to before I got the context of the musical. So it's like, and the funniest thing is that the end lyric of the song is like, and all you know about me is my name. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. All I know about you is your name. Let me go find where you're from. And the rest is history. So yeah, that's what I've been listening to nonstop when I'm doing my workout, which included this week. So that's my media. Go check it out. You're not going to regret it. Let's go to some real film history, though. Max, tell us about the Bee movie.
Well, this is your last chance to get out of it, because I also rewatched this week As Good As It Gets with Jack Nicholson from the 90s, which is a brilliant movie. I love it. Go watch it. Has a lot. The funny thing is, I watched it a million times as a kid, but it is actually a very deep movie that probably went far over my head. So it was a good thing that I haven't watched it in years, and then it just recently popped up on Netflix, German Netflix I should say, probably was already on Netflix 10 years ago before Netflix existed in America, but whatever. Great movie, love it. Still loving it now, being able to appreciate it on a completely different level. But I guess you are here to hear me talk about the Bee movie.
Yes.
Yes. So here's the thing. It started out fair enough. I was like, okay. Yeah. So when you just see this bee society, and they even have this very self-aware humor, which I was like, there's this one scene where those two bees walk just along a road and are talking like something alive and in the hive, and I already had the feeling like, wait, why are the cars driving so close to them and whatnot, and then like, I don't know, it is like something is too perfect here, but I can't put my finger on it, and the camera zooms out and they're standing in the middle of a crossroad, and all cars just drive by them and nothing happens. Like, this made me laugh. It was a well-played joke. And I was like, what is everybody's problem? So far, okay, it's not good, it's nothing to write home about, but it's not bad, and it even made me laugh. It had a few good jokes in it. And even when the romance thing started, it was like where all the non-furries like, whoa! And I was watching it and was like, guys, seriously, the romance? They make it very clear there's nothing physical going on, so it's basically this soulmate level of romance. Like, you love the person and not the physic, which is actually, it's basically how asexual people love. Because, news flash for everybody who doesn't know, asexual people are still capable of romance, of love, of anything. They just don't like the physical aspect of it. Which is nothing for me because I love the physical aspect of it. But that people have been creeped out by just those two people who see soulmates in each other and like to hang out and talk and whatnot and share a coffee. Like, this was what freaked you out about this movie? Really?
I think it's just they can't imagine something that doesn't have a physical thing, and they're just kind of like, how do you fuck a bee?
But they address it explicitly in the movie that there's nothing going on.
That's not going to stop them.
Yeah, it's like, I was like, if I hadn't known about people freaking out about this bee-human relationship thing, I wouldn't even have noticed it as an issue. But because I knew about this beforehand, I was looking at it and was like, really? This is so unspectacular. What is happening? Yeah, and then other fantastic. I mean, I liked how they played the entire B theme. Like, oh my God, 3 days of high school, whoa, and 3 days of college. I'm glad that that's over. Like making puns on the short lifespan of it. Like finding a nice balance between taking itself not seriously at all, but giving it a little touch of still playing with the theme in a way.
My favorite B joke is that girl is hot. She's my cousin.
Yeah.
She is? Yeah, we're all cousins.
Yeah, and even so when they said this, I was like, and how do you explain the parents? And then later they address it, and I was like, yes!
It's like there is not bad. The movie itself is not terribly written. I mean, it's made by a arguably very good comedian. So it's like, some of this stuff is not bad, but then you get to a point.
Yeah, I mean, yes, the self-awareness of it is actually brilliant at times. But then again, looking at the movie as a whole, I'm not sure if it is brilliance or if they just got lucky with some of the jokes, because so many did not work at all. But another one I love, because I still want to look at the positive here. Because the funniest thing is I happened to watch it in 2 parts, and the cut was pretty much there where it's not supposed to be. So I watched the first half yesterday, then it got too late, and I was like, okay, it's getting far too late, I need to go to work tomorrow, I have to stop now, and I want to stop while there is still enough movie left, so it is reasonable to continue the next day. So I cut off basically at the beginning of the court.
Oh, that is a place to pause.
Yeah, so yesterday my experience with the B movie was mostly positive. Another great example where, once again, either brilliance or sheer luck went into this writing. Like, you have those characters, those buff jock guys who are like, oh, look at the small guys, let's have a little bit of fun with them. And they go over there like,
the pollinating people.
Yeah, the pollinators. And they're like, hey, you small guys, you want to come out on a flight with us tomorrow morning? And the whatever, Brian, Bane, blah, blah, Seinfeld.
Barry is
Barry Seinfeld, yeah. And
Barry Seinfeld.
Barry Seinfeld. And Barry is like, oh yeah, sure, I want to do this. And he actually shows up there, goes into the restricted area. There's this kind of drill sergeant guy. What are you doing here? This is a restricted area. And the buff guy is like, oh no, it's okay. I asked him to come. Oh, okay, then it's fine. Let's go fly with everyone. They're turning upside down so many tropes in one go that the bully characters are actually nice and friendly and caring. What the hell?
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, if you just stopped before the core thing, it would be a funny little short film.
Yes!
And
smart and clever.
Golden got mad by how much I laugh at the movie because, because he finds it to be one of the worst movies he's ever seen. But I one of my moments that I laughed so hard, he looked at me like I was a crazy person, was Barry and Matthew Broderick are at the employment office, and they're talking about, oh, that position just got filled. Oh, it's open again. And it's just like, well, when someone dies and there's a new opening, and it's like dead, 6 feet under butt, that's life. And just like,
yeah,
oh
this
my
one
God, that guy is dead inside.
Yeah, and this actually didn't give me any. This one was like, okay, stop overplaying the joke. Stop it with the joke.
No, the thing is, I find it funny just by how happy he is saying that.
Yeah, I know, but for me it didn't. It missed the mark. The joke. It was like, I see where the joke is coming, but it didn't make me laugh because they murdered the death joke. Try the irony of this. My personal favorite joke to finalize the positive talk about B-movie. Yes, we did this, people watching. We just so far talked near exclusively positive about the B-movie. My personal favorite joke was that made me really laugh because it was visually and timing-wise so on point when I forgot his name again. Whatever. Barry Seinfeld. When Barry Seinfeld first talked to Vanessa, and she's like, "Oh, do you want to have a cup of coffee?" And he's like, "Are you okay?" And the camera cuts to her having a mug in one hand and the coffee can like a meter away on an outstretched arm in a completely different direction, pouring the coffee on the floor like in a full stream, looking at him with a smile. No, this is perfect. I love it.
It reminds me of Steven Universe when Peridot first joins the Crystal Gems, and Peridot's just like recording like, I called Yellow Diamond a clod, and she's repeating over and over on her tape recording saying, I'm a traitorous clod, and Steven's like, are you okay? No. It's like,
with this big smile on her face. Yeah, pretty much. Oh, this moment. But yeah.
To finalize one little other positive thing about the Bee movie, and I can say this about the general stuff before we get to the mountain of negative. I like the little details they put in the background. Like, one of my favorite little details is that because they have cars and everything in their universe runs on honey, and someone was like filling up their car at a gas station. They take the gas can and start drinking it.
Yeah. I saw this thing.
I was like, that's cute. That's cute.
The bee world they designed within the hive was imaginative, funny, smooth.
Relatively nice looking for that time in DreamWorks animation where it was so hit and miss.
Yes, but once again, they just should have stopped the movie before the court scene.
And then we get to the court scene. Let's talk about what did you watch on Tuesday or Wednesday?
Yes, today. I watched it like an hour ago.
Oh, okay. So let's talk about the second half of the movie.
The problem is, so far, because the movie didn't take itself too seriously, they had a lot of funny characters and whatnot, it was okay that you have this very fantastic setup, like a little bit like what was it, Toy Story, yeah? You have the Toy Story thing, like, oh, bees have been able to talk the entire time. What a twist on reality, like, and they have little societies and they have their own thing going, like, yeah, this is a Toy Story idea. And they played it like cool, like with everybody being like, oh my god, a bee can talk, and then it kind of turns out that basically all animals are sentient and can talk. I mean, first it's only insects, but then there is this last joke where basically it's implied.
With the cow?
Yeah, where basically it's implied. But if a cow can, what about the bee? What about the dog? Wasn't there a dog earlier in the movie? The dog seemed pretty primitive. By which criteria are animals sentient and by which not?
Is it the ones that provide food for the humans? Like,
kind of
by
like,
that accountability, certain dogs should be able to talk.
Hey-oh! No, in China they eat dogs. But yeah, so far it's not a problem. It's an absolutely silly concept, but it is a concept that has been done before, that if you don't think too hard about it, it's cool. It's a fun little fantastic, in the literal sense, a fantastic setup. And it's cool. I watch more fantastic Steven Universe. I mean, hello! Realism? Where or what is this person? So,
nowhere to be found.
So, once again, I have no problem with suspension of disbelief for ridiculously fantastic concepts. Mm-hmm. And it's cool. They played it for laughs for the first half of the movie. But then they were still in this self-ironic, haha, look at our silly ideas we have with a secret bee world, which has apparently always been a thing, but bees just had this law not to talk to humans and keep it a big secret that all other species on the planet are sentient. Once again,
here's the thing. I have like this weird question thinking about that whole sentient thing, and no one knew. Those pollen jockeys, those are bees that people see all the time. Do they not notice the fact they have like
helmets,
gun helmets and gun vacuums and black jackets on and and that normal bees apparently wear sneakers and like.
Once again, suspension of disbelief. So far, not a problem, given that I am a big fan of Toy Story, and if you think too hard about Toy Story, it doesn't really add up as well.
Yeah,
okay,
true,
they
true.
why do it? Why? I mean, with Toy Story, it's like, okay, they are toys, and their purpose is to entertain kids, to be there for them. So, okay, you can basically, everybody has been a kid, everybody imagines their toys have been alive at some point. So, it's something you can relate to, like as a fantasy. And that's the same thing with B-movie at the beginning. I was like, okay, I can buy all this. I can buy that for silly reasons, but just as a setup for the movie to get going, that there is the bee society is a secret. Okay, I can take it. Give me this fantastic joke with the coffee on the floor. Like, are you okay? No. Perfect. Even though this was probably one of the last moments where this Vanessa character actually, I don't know if the direction
Was entertaining?
Yeah, I don't know if the direction was so shitty or if this. I mean, this is a named actress, isn't it? This is like a famous.
It's
actress.
Renee Zellweger. She's been in good stuff.
Yeah, so she is a good actress in theory, right? I can't recall anything else she did.
In theory, yes, she is a perfectly fine actress, but DreamWorks does not treat her well because I think her other role was Shark Tale.
Never
it was
watched
either Shark Tale
Never
or Monsters
watched
vs. Aliens. Two movies.
Oh yeah, she was Monster
watch.
vs. Aliens. Here's the thing. Admit a moment of shame. Get out your Game of Thrones belts, everybody, and strip me naked. I like Monsters vs. Aliens. It's a total guilty pleasure for me.
I won't. I'll strip you down naked, but I'm not going to whip you for that. Like, it's not a bad movie. I don't like. I think it's mostly I hate the Seth Rogen character so much.
Is this the evil alien?
He's the blue blob thing.
Ah, okay, yeah, the blob was okay. I see how it's annoying. Yeah, they had Dr. House as a mad cockroach.
I'm fine with that.
Absolutely.
And I'm fine with
and the general, who is such a great parody of this kind of general character in this kind of movie, if it would take itself seriously. And why the evil alien was kind of annoying, like when he does his story of his lifetime, like, and then I did, and the machine in which he is closes up and opens, and he continues his story, and half of the story is missing because the machine keeps closing and cutting him off, but he doesn't realize that half of his story is not audible. He just continues, and you see her face like, what the fuck? I don't get what he's talking about. I like it. It has its moment. It's not good.
The thing is, you know what? If I had to choose between a movie that had a DreamWorks movie that has aliens in it, I'd rather watch Monster vs. Aliens or Megamind over Home. So it's like, you know what? It's on the better end spectrum of DreamWorks movies with aliens. So which is a surprising amount when you actually look at it.
Megamind, another guilty pleasure.
No, Megamind's not a guilty pleasure. Megamind is just a good movie.
I don't know. It always leaves this feeling of unsatisfaction when I watch it, but I love watching it. At the end of it, I feel like there is some spark missing to make it a great movie.
Yeah, but that's why I didn't say great movie. I said good movie.
Okay. It's fair. Now, I have
back to the B movie.
The B movie. Yeah. So the entire concept, fair enough. But then they they build a freakingly serious plot about it. They start this storyline which is including concentration camps, which is including racism, which is including, there was a third thing that was like what the hell?
Matthew Broderick's character almost died.
Yeah, and they played for love, like slavery is in there.
Yeah, like the thing is, like they bring in like John Goodman as this
this character was unbearable.
Lawyer.
This was unbearable. The only good thing about this character was that it was John Goodman, because John Goodman is fun and good and whatnot, and at least his acting and his voice was nice, but the character itself, like, whoa, the animation. He was supposed to be despicable, but holy crap, looking at this guy. I mean, especially given that John Goodman is a little bit on the bigger side of things himself, that he lent his voice to this character where they really played the fatness for disgust. This character was walking fat shaming because he turned the
was
fatness
gross
into
to
a
look
joke.
at.
Yes, he was gross to look at. This is like, really? Nobody's complaining about this.
There was more shots of his ass than was probably ever needed in this movie.
Yeah.
Like, I think that was one joke that I did find funny, is that they did that, and you see one jury member doing the cross thing that Christians do, like to the Father, to the Son, to the Holy Spirit, just like, you know what, I would feel the exact same way if I was in your position, buddy.
And they later even put him into this oversized baby trolley.
Which is like, no thing, what the fuck? But I get totally what you mean, because they even had a moment where Barry Seinfeld was like, do we really need to be stuck under the thumb of the white man? And it's like, what the hell is going on? And he's talking about them like, this is why they shouldn't have riots, and showing how they smoke the bees, and it's like, I don't know how to feel about this. And they have...
Yes. It was like, guys, you cannot take this funny aspect, then this fantastic, unrealistic aspect, then build a super serious story on it, which you again play for laughs. Like, was it supposed to be funny to make concentration camp references? What?
Is it supposed to be like they had like Matthew Broderick be in a hospital room with an IV attached to him, being like, I almost died, I saw a light, and like, what am I watching? It's like,
I mean,
it's like, part of me is like, the sheer weirdness of it fascinates me, but it's also like, I know this is not good.
And which reminds me, like, the star numbers in this movie.
Yeah, you have Sting, you have Ray Liotta, you have John Goodman, Jerry Seinfeld, Matthew Broderick, Patrick Warburton. You have a lot of famous
Oprah.
people.
The judge is Oprah.
Oprah. You have Oprah. It's like,
you have this.
What did you pitch this movie as that they all joined in?
Well, I mean, what was the name of the guy, of the actor who had his face on the honey?
Ray Liotta.
Yeah, Ray
from
Liotta.
The Godfather.
And like, what's the? I mean, I had to check IMDb if it is really him as himself, because.
And it is.
Yes, because he mutilated his own person. Like this was not self-irony anymore. This was like,
like he's just crazy.
Yeah, but not the fun crazy like Christopher Walken crazy. No, he was just like brain damage
he was trying
crazy.
to murder Barry in front of the entire court.
Also, yeah, this is the next thing, that on the one hand, first they make a big deal out of, oh my god, there is this secret, this B law of astute of secrecy, like with wizards in Harry Potter, but with the difference that in Harry Potter there is knowledge about wizardry, just what accepted as fiction because the wizard started hiding a few hundred years ago. But in B movie it's implied that never ever was ever any evidence there for the humans that maybe any other species on the planet is sentient. But yeah,
there's so much attempted murder in this movie. It's like,
because
Patrick Warburton's character almost burns down a bathroom to do this.
Yeah, that's the thing. On the one hand, first they make it a big deal, then they freak out, and then everybody is acting completely unfazed by the fact that bees can talk, and still continue to murder them like bees. Like, what the hell?
They're sentient beings. It's like, what message are you trying to send, Jerry?
Yes,
like,
the overness is
I feel like this movie was originally supposed to be like a PG-13 or R-rated farce movie, but they're like, we can't get the funding for it, so let's make it a PG-rated kids movie.
I don't know. But even if it originally, the plot itself doesn't work, because then the plot gets just super silly. I mean, it can't be a kids movie by all the themes they are going for, like with responsibility and dying world and whatnot. But yeah, then the world dies instantly because the bees stop working. Like, And you wonder, is this supposed to be like over a long period of time? No, there's later even on, oh, this is Barry Seinfeld. Oh, he just came from his
Winning court case.
Yeah, and it was like, okay, the entire plant life of Earth has already died. So this, how much time has passed since bees stopped working? And then they restore nature in seconds, and they make a big thing out, oh, this is the last flowers on the entire world, and then they just fly across Central Park and the world is saved. Like, what?
What personally annoys me is like, you guys do realize that other bugs pollinate the world, not just
this also
bees? Like the thing is, bees are the biggest ones, and this is why we have to take care of bees and why bee population dying is an important thing. But come on, there's other bugs that. What about butterflies? They go and pollinate plants because they drink. It's like, oh, come on.
I mean, it was also super forced with the sting joke. Like, really, only bees sting. Really? So bees can sue Sting for using the name Sting? Really? What about
in
wasps?
that case, wasps and wasps.
Mosquitoes, yeah. They make a big deal about that stinging is actually a thing bees try not to do because it can be deadly for them. But the bees sue Sting for using the word sting as a stage name?
Oh
What?
my God,
What about needles? Needles could sue Sting as well, you know?
That should have been, instead of the cow at the end, there should have been Beatles trying to sue Paul McCartney or something.
So, God.
That would have been weird, but I think I would have laughed harder. But then you got, another star. They had Chris Rock as like a mosquito for 5 minutes, and then they make that end so schmaltzy too. Like you have the think bee, and the bees carrying the plane.
Oh God,
and
the
here
cringe.
Comes the worst usage of "Here Comes the Sun" in a movie ever. Like, here comes the sun while they're repollinating the world, aka Central Park.
And the ultimate dumb down of Vanessa as well. I mean, she started out charmingly enough, but she became such a one-dimensional character who was just a foil for Barry to be like, oh, it's a pollen thing, and she was just there to do the things he could not do because he was a fucking bee. Why not make him a human if he's not capable of doing anything?
Her voice got more annoying as the movie went on because at first she was fine, and then she just kept getting more and more like this, like
the
flowers are dying, Barry.
Maybe she just read the script as she recorded her lines, like she didn't pre-read it, and while reading the script she realized in what movies she was, and therefore her performance went downhill with the movie and at the end in the plane she is just so unmotivated and unenthusiastic about everything, because at this point she is like, oh God, this movie is shit.
The best character in that movie, in my opinion, though, is a tie between, because I don't know why they're so likable to me, Matthew Broderick Matthew Broderick gets a bad rep as an actor because he's just a very particular actor. I mean, he's Ferris Bueller. You can't hate Ferris Bueller. But it's like his voice is very, particular in what he can play. And he was perfect as the character he was, and he was actually really funny. And Patrick Warburton's character, because I think he was the only one that questioned what was going on half the time. Like his face when the girl character is like, oh, I'm helping him sue the human race. I think that was the only part of the later half of the movie that I laughed, because he's just like, did you just say what I think you just said? But oh my God, that movie went from charmingly okay to
mindfuck.
Which watching that, it makes you it's like, yeah, okay, I could see why this is the movie that became a meme.
I guess so.
It's that amount of stupid weirdness that memes go for.
I guess so. I mean, they just made they basically based the meme about the fact that they say the B word so often in it and so many beep puns. But seriously, the puns are not the problem. The puns are not the problem. The
It's
puns,
not.
I would be able to actually enjoy the puns if the movie just stayed like it was for the first half.
But
I
yeah.
enjoyed it. I honest to God enjoyed it. I mean, there were some really badly missed jokes, but it was okay. But the chord, when the entire fantasticness of the setup fell apart in itself, and yeah, and then the ending, like where they completely went like, I don't know how in an animated movie. I understand that in live action movies where you actually have like sets and actors, and when you run out of time and the season changes, you actually are screwed. That sometimes you have to, or you run out of budget or whatever, and you have to, and stuff is more expensive than you thought, and you have to cut corners and basically rush an ending out, which is half-assed and unsatisfied. I can see how this happens with a real life movie. How can you have such a rushed, crappy, flimsy ending for an animated movie with such a budget and influence? Like,
I wonder if B movie won any awards.
Probably rotten himbeer strawberry raspberry award. Or
Raspberry.
something.
Hold
Yeah.
on. I'm gonna actually look this up. I'm gonna look up what awards has the B movie won. While I'm doing that, you should go pull up the Q&A document.
I already have the Q&A document
Oh,
open.
wait. Okay, so apparently it has won 1 award and has 14 nominations. Let's see what these nominations are. Nominated by the Golden Globes for Best Animated Film. Nominated by the Annie Awards for Best Animated Feature, Production Artist, Music, Storyboarding, and Voice Acting for Patrick Warburton. Best nominated for Best Animated Feature for Broadcast Film Critics, Houston Film Critics, which is the one that they won.
What happened? What happened?
Okay. So the only award that B movie has ever won was from the Oklahoma Film Critics Circle Award. The award's name is the Not So Obviously Worst Film.
Yeah, this is actually a fitting award because it's not so obvious, but when you think about it, it's really, really a terrible movie. This is a
Oh
brand
my
new award.
God, that is sad. One poor Jerry when he's sitting in his New York apartment, it's like, sir, you actually got an award for the B movie. Really? Where is it from? And it's that, and it's like, oh. Puts it next to all of his Emmys for Seinfeld, and it's like, welp. Oh, that is too good. That is the best award that it could have ever gotten.
But yeah, Enigma, the hashtag is not ask any and key, it's ask any key questions.
No, it's hashtag any key questions.
Yeah, hashtag any key questions, no ask at all, and you are not actually asking a questions, but I will go with your suggestions and actually name this episode Beeeatles and B movie.
That's actually, first of all, Enigma, you have lost my respect, and second, that is a great title for this episode.
This is a great thing. From now on, we don't go with my horrible puns for the episode names. We go with chats, live stream suggestions for horrible puns for episode names. This is perfect. I already copy pasted it. So thanks, Enigma, for first of all shaming this Beatles trash over here, and second of all for a good suggestion. Questions.
I'm gonna ask the first. I'm gonna ask the first question.
And remember to cross it out afterwards, because I
Yeah,
already have the feeling we missed some. Yeah.
No, we didn't. I made sure of it. This first question is from Joe Schmo on Twitter. Great name. Dumb question that's probably been asked before. Great setup. What's something you want to do on your channels, excluding anything ponies, besides the podcast?
I mean, I already started my Did I start it? Is the first episode of
No,
That
you
Stupid
haven't.
out?
You haven't started That Stupid. You did the bullying one. That Stupid is the one I'm working on right now.
Oh, That Stupid is
Upcoming. So.
still. But yeah, I have an upcoming show which is called That Stupid, which is basically me being my cynical self talking about actually real world stuff. I mean, I always was like, okay, my channel is called ANY Entertainment Talk, basically to focus on everything entertaining. And this episode, I mean, this show, I hope it's entertaining in and of itself, because...
Well, it's going to be edited by me, so it'll be visually entertaining.
But that's true, but the topics are so not entertainment related so far. But yeah, this is coming. I mean, in the past, I kind of did a little bit of outbranching anyways, like with Cora, which is, by the way, if I ever make the top 5 yay and nays of videos on my channel, like which videos I personally like, the Cora ones will be up there. We watched them not too long ago, and I was like, this was actually a good format for review, even for episodic reviews, which I am not a fan of. If you can tell by my last video on my channel that I am not a big fan of episode reviews. But for Cora, I mean, it worked because there was an ongoing story. You could actually speculate about the future in it. And I had this thing in the beginning of the show, of the episode. I did actually the worst thing you can do in an episode review, namely giving a short recap of the review, which is of the episode, which is the silliest thing you can do in a review, because somebody who hasn't seen the episode has no point in watching your review, and people who and who has watched it doesn't need to have a recap. But I personally think I did this quick recap where I basically name the main plot points, but in a kind of silly way. So I use the idea of the story recap, but actually use it as a riff, as a very quick riff, like pun, pun, pun. So I did the chorus thing. I will probably not return to doing anything episodic anyways. Otherwise, outbranding. Do I do anything else outbranding wise? I don't know. I'm still trying to keep this channel alive as much as I can at all.
I mean, I was just going to say about your That's Stupid thing. The first episode that's going to be coming out is an entertainment-based thing. If you're talking about, entertainment news, because with YouTube, trying not to say exactly what about YouTube.
Yeah, I mean the third one again would also be kind of entertainment related because it goes into certain aspects of art.
Yeah, exactly. The only one that's not entertainment is the second episode.
Yeah.
So far.
And the fourth one will be either. I already have a topic for the fourth one.
Oh, you gotta tell me after the podcast.
Indeed. But what about you?
Oh, yeah, I have a lot of stuff out branching. Like, another reason why things have been taking a little bit longer from my end is that I want to make my channel... The thing is, my channel is actually very diverse when you look at the types of videos that I make, because I don't just do reviews. Like, I don't like it when people label me as just a reviewer, because I feel like that's limiting, when you put a label on someone or something. I do, I have my song covers, I have speed drawings, I have all this kind of stuff. And what I want to outbranch from Pony is... I want to start doing some artistic education. Like, I'm going to be doing tutorial videos on how I do certain things in my drawing process. Like, one I'm currently working on right now that has 2 examples in it. One of it is a pony and one of it is actually a furry character, is how I make magic effects in my drawings. Because out of all the comments that I get, people really like how I draw magic and paint magic and stuff. Like, it's very... sparkly and organic looking and stuff.
And for everybody who can't wait for this video from Keyframe to come out, the video for the speed paint for the title card of this very podcast you are currently watching is actually also with the different stages of how such an image comes together, kind of tutorial-esque, educational on a certain level as well.
It's kind of.
I recall that somebody commented on it, was like, hey, those with the stages was actually a very nice touch.
Yeah, like one thing that I want to do is that for some speed paints I'm going to do that, and other ones that I want to actually do a voiceover for, where I actually explain kind of like what I do. Kind of not in a complete Bob Rossi tone, but very... calm talking about it.
I have the feeling you wouldn't really pull off the Bob Rossi anyways.
Stop. Just stop. Not right now. But besides that, when it comes, but I still want to do, and it's also, I want to shift my steps to some more art things. So when I introduce animations on the channel and animatics, because I'm working on a bunch of those that are, some of them not just pony.
Yeah, there's one about pirates.
Fuck you. I'm reanimating that simply because I don't want you to use that background music anymore.
Well, it's not my fault. It's not my fault that your gem Sona has her gem stuck in her eye, which gives her a certain piratey look.
And it's not my fault. Your gem Sona has like an open vest that kind of looks like a dashing pirate. But
true story.
But anyways, like more animations and animatics. But when it comes to reviewy or analytical type content, I actually have a lot of plans. Like when it comes to just reviewing specific media, I'm having a series where I'm focusing on Scooby-Doo stuff because I really want to talk about it. Because every review I see of Scooby things, if it's not Zombie Island, everyone just shits on the franchise, and I'm so fucking tired of it. It's like, you don't need to be a fan of it, but you should respect the franchise for how influential it is, because a lot of what animation is, a lot of the voice actors you look at today, a lot of stuff would not exist if Scooby didn't exist. For example, Frank Welker would not be a voice actor if Scooby-Doo didn't exist, because Scooby-Doo was his first TV voice role. So yeah,
that's on your to-do list. Hashtag make Scooby-Doo great again.
Great again. But besides that, like I have some top 5 lists talking about like my favorite TV shows and stuff, and I actually have to make a top 10 now for not Cartoon Network shows, because I just made my top 10 Cartoon Network. No, my top 10 animated TV shows. 70% of it was just Cartoon Network shows, and I was like, this seems imbalanced. But besides that, one series I'm very excited for is actually something that is either going to be very taking off or no one will watch, and it's called What a Colorful World. And it's an educational show where I'm talking about why they use certain color schemes either in character designs or in media and how it makes people feel. Because colors are tied into our brain with emotional implications. So like in film, if you see a scene that is very much put into yellow, it either means innocence and childhood, or it could mean tension and fear and paranoia. And like black could mean death, or it could mean wealth, and how it incorporates into both how it's used in TV shows and movies, like talking about how it's used in Danny Phantom or how it's used in Pocahontas, which color-wise is one of the best Disney movies, or character design. In fact, one of that episode will actually be pony-related, because when you look at what colors and their emotional
Also, the time is ticking and we are still on the first question.
Sorry.
No, go.
Emotional implication. It's going to be a good show, and probably no one will watch it because everyone just wants to watch ponies.
I don't know. Darklaw on Twitter asked, "Hey Key and ANY, do you watch anime?" There's so many anime questions. If you do so, what's your favorite? Did we have something like this already?
Yeah, we did. But I guess my 2 favorites are Sailor Moon and Space Dandy.
And I go with the one the superhero academy, whatever. It's one I like currently, so whatever. Next one.
Favorite kinds of dogs. Beagles. Beagles are best dogs.
My old dog, he died, but he was the best. Your dog, every other dog is shit. My dog was the best. Perro was.
My dog is the best dog.
Perro, best dog. Wait, there's one in the. Again, the wrong hashtag. Enigma Prince. So ANY, what's your favorite My Academy hero character? Oh god, this is about the show I just mentioned. Shoto calls it. I don't know. The frog girl is funny.
Okay.
We really suck at lightning rounds.
Yeah.
Sapphire Heart Song. I'm hungry. What fast food joint can you recommend? Wendy's, because he got some real cool cred recently with being super sassy.
German KFC.
Oh, good point. Because it actually tastes good.
Yes. Anyway, that was the awkward cast today, and this was very awkward.
Indeed, it was. See you next time.
Bye bye.